All right, here we are. Another week has gone by. Hopefully I got the microphone turned on. Looks like it's turned on. Looks like the little voice thing is going up and down, so that's always good. So anyway, we're just getting started. It's a great week. A lot of stuff going on this week. A lot of stuff to talk about. Just looking in the chat really quick. You guys hear me okay? Just give me just tell me you can hear me okay and everything looks okay and all that good stuff. That'd be great. Let's see who we got. We have Tigger74. He's in here. Steve Waterman, hello. Robert, hello. Jeffrey Anderson, hello as well. And Sam's Tangled Web, my local Pacific Northwest buddy. So that's cool. And Steve says, yep, sounds good. You look great from G-Man. Awesome. Thank you. Looks like we're loading up in here. We got 17 people in here so far. We're just going to wait a little bit before we get started. I got a lot of cool books. I just got done reading just a bunch of books. I mean, that's all that's all I do on Fridays now is just read books so I can talk about them. So that's really cool. So I read, I don't know, maybe like 10 or 12 different books to go over. And we got some other great topics to talk about tonight. And the one I've been wanting to talk about, that's what we're going to cover. Are comic books a good investment, or should you invest in comic books? And I think that's a fair question to ask. So that'll be a lot of fun, and it might stir up some emotions with you people. And that's okay, because that's great, because people are very passionate about comics, and that's kind of why I want to talk about it. Robert Galvin, he gave a $5 super chat. Robert, thank you so much. That's goes straight right back into the podcast, my friend. Any money that I get from YouTube, from super chats or the revenues, I'm using that money to, like you can see, I bought a new microphone just recently. I want to buy new lighting and possibly a second camera. And so that's very appreciated, Robert. Thank you so much. I do enjoy the nice $5 super chat, so thank you. And that's pretty cool because it keeps your thing up there on the screen, and I didn't realize that, so people can see it. So that's pretty awesome, I think. So I'm glad that they do that. So we're getting some other people jumping in here. Joey, hello. Jason or Jesse Jones, hello. Mr. Gerald, Red, he's in here. The Gray Man is in here. John's Comics with Kids, one of my favorite. Last week was his anniversary, and happy anniversary 1 week after. So congratulations, John. Rayman, the Silencer Man, is in here. Papa Lucha is in here. Cape Mayor 1. Hello, Cape Mayor 1. Let's see, Cape Mayor 1. You won the raffle for last month. Did you get your package yet? Because it took me an extra week to mail it out. I apologize for that. But it should be showing up pretty soon if you haven't got it, but you might have got it today. It all depends on, I can't remember what part of the country you're in, but it was mailed out, and hopefully you enjoy it. So there you go. And we got a bunch of other people jumping in now. XXXN says, sup, Bueller? How you doing? Who Dat Comics and Movies? How you doing, Who Dat? Brian Chriswell says, hello, hello. Look at all these great people. This is awesome. Awesome. And let's Tigger74 says Raffle ? Tigger, I do a giveaway, a monthly giveaway every month, and all you have to do is watch my Monday videos that come out. It's called Comics, Coffee, and Comments, and it's a great fun video. I don't know if you checked any of those out, but all you do is just leave a comment on there, and you're entered to the monthly raffle. And then every month we give stuff away. And since we're talking about it right now, excuse me, my voice is a little hoarse, guys. Sorry about that. But since we're talking about the raffle right now, I might as well just give you guys an update on what's going on there. So October's raffle is going on. And like I said, if you haven't left a comment on one of those coffee videos, just go ahead and do so. And that's how you enter. And the prize for the month of October is the Avengers Academy hardcover. So that's kind of cool. And then the Venom Space Knight, number 12. This was on the CBSI top 10 list not too long ago. So that's kind of awesome. And then we're giving away a bunch of autograph books. This is Hellboy, signed by Mike Mignola. And this one is Ultimate Spider-Man 15, signed by Mark Bagley. And this one is Star Wars Thrawn #1, signed by Jody Hauser. And Luke Cage #1, signed by David Walker, the writer. And the last thing that's on the giveaway for October is Venom #1, and that's autographed by Donnie Cates himself. So anyway, all you gotta do is go to the coffee video, watch part of it or all of it. All of it would be great, and just leave a comment on one of those, and those come out every Monday. And just leave a comment, and it's a random draw. I just do a drawing, and whoever wins it, I let you know, and then you get a bunch of books sent your way. So that's kind of cool. Let's see here. We got Michael is in here. We got Ricky Slider in here. Joe Cochran. That's probably right. And we got Cool Comics Collector. Gave a $5 super chat. Says, hey, Bueller. Cool Comics Collector. That's really cool. I appreciate that. Like I said, all super chats go right back into the podcast. And we're upgrading, and we're going to get faster internet. That's probably the first thing I need to get is my own internet. That way I can stop stealing my neighbor's internet. As you guys probably all know, that's what I'm doing right now. I steal my neighbor's internet. I don't know which neighbor I'm stealing it from, but it's an open thing. So whatever, I use that. But anyway, thank you so much. I'll go right back into the podcast. Like I said, I really do appreciate it. Nerd Vision, hello. And a bunch of other people. And guys, if I miss you on the chat, go ahead and leave a comment on the bottom of this video when it's up, and just let me know you were here. I really appreciate that, because I always go back and look at those, and the chat goes really fast, so I miss a lot of stuff, and I apologize for that. But now that we got about 50 people in here, let's go ahead and talk about the books that came out this week and the ones I read, and I'll give you my opinion on them. And you might agree, you might not, I don't know. But anyway, we have Batman #57. This came out, and this book takes 3 minutes to read. This is just a big, long fight scene. That's it. It's a fight scene, and there is a kid's fairy tale kind of mixed in with it. But you can read this book in 3 minutes. It was good, but it's just a big, huge fight scene, so there's not much more than that. And then I read Justice League #10. And this is one of the foil covers, and they're still doing the foil covers. I believe next week is the last week for foil covers to come out. I think there's 3 or 4 left. This story, it was okay. It was centered mainly around Aquaman, and it was a decent read, but I have a hard time reading the team ones, because they're so spread out with different characters, and it's not very focused. So this really didn't draw me into it. The artwork is really good, and I enjoy the foil cover, but the story itself didn't really do much for me. Let's see who else is in here. Doomed and Confused, hello. Marvel, Joe 67, hello. Look at all these people. I love all these people. These people are great. Thomas Churchill, hello. Everybody. Batman, Father of Damien, better late than never. We just started Batman, Father of Damien, so you're all good, my friend. This one I read, and I like this one. Harley Quinn #52. It's all about her, and there is a first appearance at the end of this book, and I'm not going to tell you who it is because I didn't know who it is, but it is a daughter of somebody, and but there is a first appearance in this book, so you might want to pick this one up. And there's this one, and then there's also the variant show cover as well, so either one will do it. This is the foil cover, but this was a fun read. You might enjoy this one, and then of course you're going to get a first appearance, and somebody who's read it will probably give it away in here. Well, that's okay. I'm not going to give it away. And then we have some Marvel books that I read. And this one is Thor #6. And I haven't really liked this series so far. It's, I don't know. It's a little different. It's kind of hard to get into. I don't know if anybody's reading it. It does have a returning character at the end of the book, and I enjoyed that. And it might have been it was a venom type substance that was involved. I'm not sure about that. If you guys have read this and kind of see that and kind of got that opinion, but there's a character that comes back at the very end, and I think there's some venom substance that's floating around, but it might be something else, so I don't know. But anyway, it was cool. Great looking cover. Love that cover with the monsters and stuff. And you got Dr. Doom there. So very cool. Then we have Astonishing X-Men number 16. And I've enjoyed the Astonishing X-Men. This has been a good series. I don't know how much longer they're going to do it because they have the new Uncanny X-Men coming out. And I know they're going to bring a few of them to a close. But this one is a classic battle with this X-Men team. And I'm not a big fan of this team itself, but it's a Sentinel battle type thing that's going on. And we all know how that turns out. So this book was okay. It didn't really do too much for me, but it is it's okay. This one I liked. I like this a lot. And this was Weapon H, number 9. I just think that's a really cool character, the Weapon H character. And this is part of the War on Weird World storyline. And it's really cool because the Weapon H character, he's part of a team. And the team is like a bunch of just misfits type thing. And you got Man-Thing and some other characters as well. But this is a good read. And I like the fact that they're doing some different things with different members that you wouldn't think to have in a comic. And there's kind of a twist at the end of this as well. And it's kind of interesting. I don't know if it might be a first appearance of a character. I'm not sure. So you might want to check this out. And it's on the very last panel. And I believe it might be a first appearance. It might not be, but it could be. And then of course we got this one. And this is probably the hot book of the week, as far as something that everybody could probably pick up. This is Venom number 1. Let me know if you guys picked up this book. It's very cool. It's a Venom Annual number 1. Sorry, it's not Venom number 1. It's Venom Annual number 1. This is the story was okay, and mainly the annuals really don't have much to do with the ongoing storyline, and that's kind of something they focus on. And they'll have some guest writers, and this was written by multiple people, so that was kind of neat. I believe Donnie Cates wrote the first part, and then about 3 or 4 other people wrote it. But it's kind of cool because there's a bunch of villains that are kind of hanging out in a bar. There's just swapping stories of their encounters with Venom, and it kind of goes back and forth. And they're almost like comparing their run-ins with Venom and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun. It's a nice little standalone one-shot thing. And then somebody might have died in the end, and one of my favorite villains might have died in the end of this book. You don't really know what happens. It just kind of happens. So there might be a death in here of one of my favorites. If that's the case, I feel bad, but it's really up to the imagination. But just a great looking cover. I mean, come on. It doesn't get much better than that, to be honest with you. And it's probably my pick of the week as far as cover goes. Let's go ahead and jump into the chat here. And let's see. We got a ton of stuff going on in here. Robert says, how much for all the Wolverines in the back of you, buddy? I'll buy them all for your show. Here's the thing, Robert. I don't really sell books anymore. My collection days have kind of come back around. And, I buy books now for the love of the books, and I'm not really looking to flip them. And because I did that for many years, and I made a lot of money selling comic books. But this time around, it's just for the enjoyment of having them. And I share them with friends. I give a lot of books away to people that I know. And I think that's just the way I want to be. I appreciate the offer. If something else happens and I need some money, man, I'll keep you in mind, Robert. But for now, the ones I buy, they're staying with me, and I'm enjoying all of them. Let's see. JD's in here. Let's see. Quiro. I still don't know how to pronounce that name. Quiro. I don't know. Jeffrey Anderson. Let's see. John's Comics with Kids is in here. He's got something going on this weekend with his YouTube channel, so it sounds kind of cool. So you guys check that out. John's Comics with Kids. Comic Spectre. The Venom is so hot right now. I was able to buy. Okay, so that Venom cover, this Venom book, my local shop still is sitting on about 8 of them sitting on the shelf. I don't know what the deal is. I thought they were sold out everywhere, but apparently. And here's the thing: like, he has 8 sitting on the shelf, and he only ordered like 12 of them. So it's not like they're selling a ton at his place. And that's the place where I find all my 50 cent things. So Let's see. Somebody said they got 2 of them. That's cool. Everyone here, her YouTuber, she's, I don't know. Buy me that Venom cover, Bueller. We have none at my LCS. You know what? I'll go take a look and see if they have them. It's called, my LCS is called Comics Adventure, and you can find them on Facebook, and you can just send him a message. And if he has some sitting aside, his name is Bruce. And but Comics Adventure, it's on Facebook, and he might send them to you, you know, type thing. So you can find them and just send him a message, and he usually responds pretty quickly. Pop.comics, hello, thanks for joining. I appreciate that. DJ Ready C, peace man, new subscriber, dope channel. Thank you so much. I think it's a dope channel too. Okay, we got 65 people in here. I always love these, and this is so funny because this is the what if the alien costume had possessed Spider-Man. This is a True Believers. I just showed this book on my coffee episode on Monday, the actual book, and I paid less for the actual book than I paid for this because I got the actual book for 50 cents, and I paid $1 for this one that came out on Wednesday. And another True Believers, what if Fantastic Four had not gained their superpowers? That's kind of cool. I don't think they'd be called the Fantastic Four if that was the case, but kind of a cool. Great True Believers. Love it. And then these ones right here are some other ones. And I'm trying to get the whole set of these. I'm buying a lot of books that I normally don't buy, but these ones, and you guys have probably seen these at your local shops. It's all the DC foil covers. I'm trying to get the whole set. So there's Teen Titans. So that's kind of neat looking, right? Number 23. And then I got Justice League Dark, number 4. And that's a nice foil cover. Like I said, for the most part, they're doing every title. And like 90% of their titles, they're giving foil covers to. And they're almost done. Then I got Nightwing, and that's a great looking one. Great looking foil cover. That's number 51. I'll probably read that this weekend. And then Damage. And I haven't read any of this series at all. It kind of looks like a Weapon H clone, to be honest with you. But Damage, number 10, Weapon H Hulk type thing, but a nice shiny foil cover. So I picked that up. All right. So let's look at the chat here, and then we'll go ahead and move on to some other stuff. Sam says, I will be getting that. Awesome, Sam. I got What If. I love those What Ifs books. All the What Ifs that they're doing right now. I forgot to get the What If, the Ghost Rider one that came out. That one looks really cool. We got 73 people in the chat right now. Thank you guys so much. This is awesome having you guys in here. We're just going through the chat real quick, and then we're going to roll on to the next subject. I got a couple things before we get to the our comic books are a good investment, and that's gonna be an interesting conversation. There's some new TV shows that debuted, or returning TV shows that debuted this week and last week. The Flash came back. I love that on the CW. I just got done watching that, and I watched Arrow, and I like that show as well. That was a lot of fun. If any of you guys watch those shows, those are great. And also Black Lightning, I believe, started up again. And I haven't watched it yet. I watched the first season, and I gotta say, I just love that show. It's one of my favorite superhero shows. Black Lightning on the CW. It's really done very well. So make sure you check that out. And did the Daredevil season 3 come out today, or is that like next week? I'm not 100% sure. I'm way behind on my Netflix watching. So there you go. Let's see. We got some other people. Gray is in here. How you doing? It says, yes, Damage is a Hulk clone, but people seem to love it. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. I think I bought another Damage book because of the cover looked really cool. I don't remember which one it was. Popcom is in here. How you doing, Popcom? 27T Mangs. Mine too at Cool Comic Collector. Awesome. E-Town Comics. How you doing? And Prowler 671. Netflix canceling Iron Fist. I heard about Netflix canceling Iron Fist, and it's the second season was definitely better than the first season, but the first season was not great, and it kind of spoiled me on the Defenders because it came out right after that. I think they canceled it, but really, I think we're probably going to get a Power Man and Iron Fist type show if they're still able to do the license. I'm pretty sure that's probably where they're going to go with that because it makes total sense, right? So look forward to possibly Power Man and Iron Fist down the road, and both the Luke Cage one and obviously the Iron Fist is already canceled, but Luke Cage probably would they tie that up as well and roll it into the Power Man and Iron Fist, which would be great because that's one of my favorite comics. We got James Barry Jr. Hey Bueller, finally I remembered to watch. Thank you so much. We got Tacoma Comics is in the house. How you doing, Tacoma? How you been? I haven't talked to you in a while. Hope things are doing great up there, my friend. Jam Session is in here. That's awesome. And we got a super chat donations from Economics in Comics. Is a Bueller doing an auction tomorrow. I hope you come. Economics and Comics. You know what? I think I saw that you were doing an auction tomorrow, so that should be kind of cool. And I think this is your first one that you're doing. And so I want to wish you luck. I've never done one. So if I'm around, I might be tied up on another channel. Sometimes I do I help out some other channels, or I'm a guest on some other channels, so I'm not sure. But if I'm not, I'll stop by and check it out. So Economics and Comics, awesome, super chat, good channel, good guy, all that good stuff. Brian A, I stopped watching Netflix Marvel stuff when Iron Fist came out. You know what, Brian? I kind of did too. That threw me for a loop, you know, and I'm kind of, I don't know, the Netflix Marvel things, in general, I don't think they've done that great. I mean, they're okay. The Punisher one I loved, and the season 2 of Daredevil with the Punisher, because I'm a Punisher fan, was probably my favorite. But for the most part, a lot of them just kind of let me down, you know, and I think that it's hard to do, you know, your expectations are so high, and, you know, because the movies are so great and all that good stuff. And I don't really watch the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show either, but the ones I do like are the CW shows. I like the Flash, I like Black Lightning, the Supergirl, and Legend of Tomorrow. I think those are all done really well. So Daredevil Punisher was awesome. Punisher was really good. It was very good. Let's see. Okay, so I want to jump into something that I did this week, and I want your guys' opinion. I got 78 people in here, and I want your opinion, almost 80 people. So I put out a new video this week, and it was called Just the Keys. And for you guys who have seen that video, Just the Keys, it's about Wolverine. I put a lot of time into that video, and I went digital. And as you can see, I still have all the books that I showed. They're actually sitting behind me, and I kind of set it up that way. So when you watch that video, you know that I kind of had those books. But I showed digital images of the books because I wanted to give a nice, bright, shiny picture. And I thought that did a great job, and it was easier for you guys to see. It was one of my favorite videos to make. It took me forever. I was literally up for 17 hours doing that video, editing it, filming it, putting it out, downloading it on my stolen internet from my neighbor, which takes like forever. But it was a lot of fun. And I want you guys' opinion. That's the format I want those to do. I want it to look really good for my first one in that format. I wanted to pick a good character to do it on. And I think that was the right one to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, because I really enjoyed making that video. And I'm looking forward to making more. I have a list now of ones that I want to do. And random ones that people you're not going to see a lot of. Wolverine's pretty common, but a G.I. Joe Marvel keys list, a Transformers Marvel keys list. And before I go any further, Comic Spectre, before this goes off my screen, loving the stream, Bueller. Everyone come out for Economics and Comics auction tomorrow. Community support. That's right. Always support the community. Here's the thing. I don't tell people just go sub people up. Okay. I think that when you watch a channel, if you like what you see, then you should subscribe. Because if you don't like what you see and you subscribe and you don't watch it, it doesn't really do anybody any good. So I always tell people, if you like that channel, go check it out. And then if you like what you see, then subscribe. That's kind of how I do my thing. And I always promote, and I always tell people to go check out channels that I think are good. I like Economics and Comics, so that's why I bring it up. I think it's a good channel. Go check it out. If you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. Anyway, back to what I was talking about that keys video. So I got a bunch of lists. Power Man and Iron Fist is another one that I'm going to do. Star Wars, the Marvel Star Wars ones. Defenders. I mean, you can go down the list. I'm going to do an X-Men one. Okay. That one will be broken up to many parts. And I'm going to do all of them at once and have them all done. And it's going to be X-Men week. So every one will come out every day. part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, and they'll come out all in 1 week. So that's a big run to do. That's going to take a lot of work. So that one's down the road, but all the other ones I think you're going to enjoy, and I'm going to try to make those because the response for them is really good. I mean, that Wolverine one came out and it got 1,000 views in the first 24 hours. So that's awesome. And I like it because I don't think there's any other ones out there like that type of video. That's just the keys type thing for a whole run. And so I like doing those. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let me kind of look at all these stuff. It looks great. The chairs were classy. The video was awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That style video was great. It looks good with those digital images. Yeah, I like the digital images. And here's the thing. The digital images open it up for me to do everything. I can do any title. And that's the kind of way I look at it. When I was showing the actual physical copies of the books, I have a lot of books. Don't get me wrong. I got, 15,000 books, but I don't have every one of some of these key books. And by going digital, it opens up the door to not only do more, but just make it look nicer as well. And I thought it looked really good. But I tell you this, iMovie is not friendly, and it took a lot of work to make that look like that. So I enjoyed it, though. Okay. Pages, Films, and Plaques of Bueller. You have 88 viewers. Congrats. Thank you so much. I think I saw it go up to 90 at one time. I don't know. But eventually I'll get to 100. That's my goal. So if you guys know anyone that wants to come watch the guy that doesn't have a date on Friday night again, then let them know to come on over. We'll see if we can get 100 views at once. I think that would be pretty darn cool. ID Jester, first-time viewer. ID Jester, he's a good guy too. I've spent some time with him. I like him. He's a good guy. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna jump into some other thing. Let's see. We did the videos, and so we're just gonna go into the topic of the night, and it's gonna get dirty right now. It's gonna be dirty. Let's just say it. Okay. 90 viewers. Awesome. So the topic was, should you invest in comics, or are comics a good investment? And I want to get into a little bit of detail about investing in comics. And I think I can talk from some experience. I started collecting in the early 80s, like 81 probably, when I was just a little kid. And I spent many years selling comic books and making money. It was a different time back when I was selling. At the time when I was selling the books, there was no movies, there was no internet, or there was internet, but there was no streaming services or Hollywood or nothing. So the books that were selling were different types of books, and they were selling for reasons that I believe should be the sole purposes for comics to have value, and that being the story, the writer, the artist, or the first appearance, or something like that. Now it's different. Okay, comics are different. They're based on a 1 in 25 variant or a 1 in 50 variant. That's kind of similar to old baseball cards, when you get a 1 in 25 chance of getting this rare card, And so I kind of look at those in that eye. And now they're also obviously based on, there's speculation that there's going to be a movie about this character, or this is going to be the villain in that character in a movie. And that is the way it is. And there's no way around that. I don't mainly agree with that, but that is the way it is, and that's what spikes books right now. So are they a good investment? So I showed you a stack of books that I just bought today, okay? And I bought all those books, and those are all cover price books. And I paid $2.99 to $3.99 a book. And out of the dozen books that I showed you, there might be one of those books that actually will be worth a little bit of money. And when I say a little bit of money, maybe twice or 3 times cover price, in the near future, or even future and beyond. So when you think about that, and the fact that I spent, $50 on those books, excuse me, I spent $50 on those books, and only one of those books is probably going to be worth some money, and that's obviously the Venom cover is the one I'm referring to, then that's not a very good investment at all. It just doesn't work out, because my return on that investment will not be a good one. But that's not why I buy those books. I buy those books because I read the story and I enjoy it. And that's the main reason you should buy comic books. The books that we hear about, the 1 in 25 variants or the 1 in 50 variants, those are the ones that just, they're hard to find. You know, it's not, nobody can just go out and just pull them off the shelf for the most part. Sometimes you do and you get lucky, but for the most part, you can't find them. And they're kind of those things where people just get stuck holding the bag, and they kind of go from speculator to speculator to speculator, and they buy them online. And then the last person gets stuck with them, and then that's it. There's really nothing more about those books. So are those a good investment? I don't think that those are mainly a good investment, to be honest with you. Anything newer, I would say, that comes out, not a great thing to invest in. I do see a lot of stuff coming from the older generation, the Silver Age, the Golden Age, and even the stuff in the 90s is starting to spike. Obviously, those are books that aren't printed anymore. And those are based on some of the facts that I presented earlier, as far as what I liked before: a storyline, a character first appearance, an artist. Those books, I believe, are the ones that are going to always increase in value. I think books like this, although they're great and they're nice to look at, that's the reason why people are buying it, is because it's nice to look at for the most part. So I would say, if you're new and you want to invest in comic books, I would invest in these for just the enjoyment of the book. You enjoy comic books. As far as value wise, are you going to be able to put your kids through school with these? Never. It's not going to happen. But you can make some money with some older books. When you go digging in the 50-cent boxes, and you guys all know that I like to dig, and this has to do a lot with just information, okay, and your knowledge. If you have knowledge of the product that you're looking for, that goes a long way. And I want to show this one. So I know this one, and this is a little small investment. This was an investment of 50 cents, and it's not in the best shape, and it's kind of falling apart. But I found this book today, and this is a 50-cent book that I just picked up hours ago, okay? And this is a book that I can flip and sell, if I was going to sell it, for like $10 to $15, no problem. You don't find a lot of that with newer books, okay? Just because they don't sell for that price, and they're just not available in the 50-cent boxes. So I believe the more information that you have and that you know what to look for, and that kind of ties into with some of the videos I've been making with just the keys, the better off you are. And you can sit there and you can find books like this that are just sitting in the 50-cent boxes, and you can make $10 or $15. And every now and then you find a gem, and you get lucky. And the rule to investing in anything is buy low and sell high. And that's what I try to do when I buy books like this. I don't like to spend a lot of money. And then if I do ever have to sell any, I didn't put much money into them, I can get a nice little profit. I have more to talk about on this, but let's go ahead and jump into the chat, because the chat has just been rolling. And it is crazy, because at one time I think we had like 95 people in here. That's crazy. Gomez, Comic Collector, how are you? Hack the account, says start acknowledging Comic Gate and you'll get 1,000 viewers. Hack the account. I don't even know what Comic Gate is. I don't even take the time to educate myself on it, because I know it's divisive, so I don't even bother. So there you go. Let's see. Kyle says, I'm married, but I still wish I had a date this Friday night. That's awesome. Let's see. There's one in here. Other Reggie Simmons is in the house. Hey, Reggie, how you doing? Reggie won my giveaway for the Walking Dead book. That'll go out on Monday, Reggie. So congratulations. Him and someone else, actually 2 other people, won that giveaway. So that was kind of cool. And those books were brought to you by Comics Adventure, the comic shop. So if you want to go to our Facebook and say, take a look at that book, or Reggie, if you want to just drop a message to them, Comics Adventure, let them know that you're going to be getting one of their books. And that's kind of cool. A cool comic collector. I don't plan on selling mine. Whoever gets them when I'm dead can do whatever they want. My comics are going to go to my kids when I pass away, which basically means they're just going to be thrown away. They don't have any need or want for them. So, when the day comes, they do inherit the collection, they're going to be sold very quickly after, I can assume. So, which is great. You can do whatever they want with them because I've enjoyed them. So that's cool. Social media drives prices of new books. Some will stick, but not most. That's from Tim the Collector. And Tim brings up a great point. And social media does drive price of books, like this book right here. These books have started to come down in price. I don't know if you guys look. I was just looking at them today, and I think the Batman Damned, I think at its peak when it was getting all the attention, and that's what these variants and stuff do, the newer ones and stuff like this, they get a lot of attention and they just jump. And I think at this one at one time was selling for like $75 to $80, at least this one. And now I'm finding them on eBay for like $35 to $40 with like free shipping sometimes. So it's dropped, not half, but it has dropped. So if you guys are looking for that one and you want to add that one, the prices are a little bit cheaper now. So that's kind of cool. Let's see. Live stream is heating up. Thank you, Sam. See here. Let's see. ID Jester said, reading the story should be what it's all about. You're absolutely right, ID Jester. Reading the story is what comics are about. It's nice to have value, though. Let's just be honest. I've sold comics to buy a car. I've sold comics to, purchase a vacation and stuff like that. And if you can buy something for cheap and sell it for high, that's what you should do. I did a little bit of research, and they said that, honestly, the best thing, if you want to invest in something right now, as far as like collectibles and stuff, it's Lego sets. Lego sets are like the best investment right now because after they get retired, they just spike up in price. And apparently there's a huge market for Lego, and I don't have any Lego. So if you want to make some money, I guess, buy some Lego sets and hold on to them. And then those things are worth money. It's kind of cool, I think. It's kind of in the same category. It's a collectible type thing. Let's see. Back in that hurricane wrecked my Michael says back in '92 hurricane wrecked my collection. Today I collect to read. I bounce around several titles and hanging out with my LCS great community. I'm sorry about your collection in '92. Then this hurricane are not kind to comic books by any means. I dumped my collection at one time in my life back in '96. I think it was. I dumped it. And started rebuilding just over a year ago. So it's kind of cool. Let's see. Comic Spectre says, I do not do speculation or flipping. I only collect for the storylines and artwork. I love beautiful cover artwork. Yep, I love artwork. This is one of my favorite artwork covers, and this book has never really been worth anything. Okay. Actually, I just bought one of these in the 50-cent box today. And then another person sent me a copy, and I got an act of kindness from someone, and I'm going to do a special video about that here, maybe Monday or Sunday. So I'm going to show those books that I got. There's a pile of them right behind me, but it's very cool. But this is a great looking artwork. The story isn't very good because this is McFarlane's one of his very first, if not his first story that he wrote. It wasn't that great, but the artwork is amazing. It's iconic cover. And they sold millions of copies of this, and you can still find it in the 50-cent boxes. So let's see. Pages Films Plaque says, hope it hits 100. We're at 98 on my screen right now. So that's pretty cool. Gomez says, I understand, Bueller, but the books we buy now, they may take off in the future as well generations. I think, there's a little bit of that. I think that there is the slight chance for some books to take off, and it's very rare. But when you look at the overall of the when there's 300 titles that come out a week, okay, and maybe 4 of those titles will actually generate any type of profit to you, is comics a good investment at the current time? Probably not. When you're playing that speculation market like that, and there's so many times so many different ones to choose from, how do you really know what's going to take off? And you could just get lucky, and you could get Donnie Cates shout out a title, and all of a sudden it's worth $20, because Donnie Cates said something in an interview. So it's a hard game to do. I think people are more educated now about comic books than they've ever been. There's so much more stuff out there that's available to you to learn about comic books. And I think your best bet, if you were to jump into comics right now, is to buy older issues. The 80s issues, the 70s issues, and even the 90s issues, I think are eventually going to spike before the ones that are coming out now. Because the only ones that come out now that are worth money are the variants. I mean, for the most part, 95% of the ones that come out now are the 1 in 10 variant or the 1 in 25 variant, or the secret Venom cover that came out last week that nobody knew about, type thing. And that's the only reason they're worth any money right now for anything new. There are some new characters that come. It's hit and miss with those. And really with the new characters that show up, if it's not a variant, it doesn't really spike as well. So it has to be a variant and a new first appearance to get that double stack, and then you'll see a bigger price jump. But for the most part, you can get the first appearances of new characters just in the regular issue as well, and those will jump a little bit. Overall, it's a tough thing to do. That's why I like sticking with the cheaper books. You can take $10. You can go 50-cent diving. You can buy 20 books for $10, and you might be able to find 5 or 6 books out of that 20 that sell for $5, $10, $15, even $20. That's a better return on your investment than buying 15 $4 books, and one of those books turns out to be a $15 or $20 book. Let's see what's in here. I read digital and collect for several reasons. I read waiting on a pizza delivery. That's from Bad Dad. Man, I need some pizza tonight. Let's see. JD says, Bueller, you are right. I look for high grade silver, bronze, no matter the issue. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's where it's gonna go. I think and they're already spiking in value. But any type of book that's silver or bronze age at a high grade now, because obviously grading is a thing now. I think that's where the investments can be, because you can buy those silver and bronze age books. And I've showed you in some of my videos. I've been like, here's this Web of Spider-Man first appearance of Tombstone. You can find this in the dollar bins. A CGC 9.8 of that book sold for $240. And this is still a dollar bin book at a lot of comic shops. That's a great return on your investment. And that's the stuff that you should be looking for, because you'll find those all over the place. Silver Age keys, if you have the money to invest, are probably the ticket. That's from Sleepy Reader, a fellow Pacific Northwester. Thank you. Tim the Collector says, you have to do your homework, read all the social media. If you hear it once or twice, probably nothing. But if you hear it 5 times, get ready. Yeah, there's so much social media. And how do you guys feel about that? Do you guys like the fact that prices are now based on what's going on in the movies or a television studio or a movie studio? Do you like that? That's why prices jump? I don't know. Like I said, it is what it is, and it's kind of the world we live in. It kind of goes hand in hand, but it's not. It's something I never really thought would factor into it, to be honest with you, because when I was growing up, that wasn't really a Hollywood presence for comic books, but obviously it is now. Let's see. Alex Comic Corner, watch RB3 and ETA Nick. The big increase in Silver Age, far as a percentage increase, are Silver Age mid to low grade. That's right. I think ETA Nick, and that's from Alex Comic Corner. How you doing, Alex? Nice to have you here, my friend. I think it might have been ETA Nick that did something where lower grade Silver Age comics are increasing in value the most, type thing, as far as like what you pay for them and what you get return on investment, not for overall dollar value, but just for the fact that you pay a lower price for a lower grade, and you can flip it for a percentage wise quite a bit higher than what you pay for a higher grade, and then you flip a higher grade. That video came out a while ago, and I really enjoyed watching that one. But he's right on the money. If you can get a lower grade book for like $5, and flip that for $25, you've increased your profit, 500% or whatever, in comparison to buying a high grade book for like $300 and selling it for $350. You're making $50, but your profit margin is a lot lower. Let's see. There's a lot of comments in here, and we're at 90 viewers. And let's see. Bake the Snake. Steve Waterman said 100% agree with Bake the Snake. All we have to do is stop paying the crazy prices, and they'll drop for a bit. You know what? Easier said than done. Comics are great, and it's that thing to where you see a comic and it's, I gotta have it now, and that really is that's the world we live in, type thing. But you're right. If we decided to just stop paying for the prices, they wouldn't sell. But you know what? There's no shortage of people and speculators that are out there right now that are actually making a living selling comics, and I think that's great. And that brings me to my other point. So you guys probably saw my video where I showed my friend's books. Bob, he had a Hulk 181 9.8 CGC, and he had an amazing fantasy 15 for Spider-Man. Two just fantastic books. I mean, if you had a chance to add those to your collection, do it. It's just amazing. I've never had either one. I probably never will, but those are great books. He sold all his books to buy those books. He knew, and he had a great collection. I mean, he had some major things in his collections. He sold his whole collection to buy those two books. And so he sold thousands of books. He bought those two books, and he's sitting on those two books because he knows that the sky is the limit for both a Hulk 181 9.8 and a CGC 3. I think it was a 3.5 or a 3 of Amazing Fantasy 15. And he bought them, and he looked at me and he said, you know what? These are for my son. That's all these are. I'm putting them away. They're going to go in my closet or my safe. And these are my kids' books. And when they get a little bit older, they can do whatever they want with them. And by the time, and his son, I think, is like 10 years old. And, by the time that kid's 21 or 30 or like in 20 years, I can only imagine what those books are going to be worth, because first Spider-Man, first Wolverine, the sky's the limit for those books. Let's be honest. I mean, I think that you're looking at six figures for maybe a couple of those books down the road, just because they're old, especially a Spider-Man book. I mean, come on. We have Robert Galvin gave a $3 super chat. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate that, my friend. That also will go to the podcast fund. So I thank you so much. Robert Galvin's a good guy. And I've talked to Robert a little bit and stuff, and he's got some pretty cool stories that he shared with me. So he's a good guy. Porter P, I don't know if I said hi to you. They printed millions due to the rush of speculation. Are you talking about the 90s hacked account? That was a problem in the 90s. In the 90s books, they printed millions and millions of copies of books, and that was kind of what they did, and it kind of crashed the market. We don't have that problem right now. The print run on books is small in comparison to what it was in the 90s. The print run is like 100,000, maybe a couple 100,000 and stuff. But so I don't see the market crashing for that reason, just because they're not printed as much. If that changes and there is a bigger print run, then that would probably cause another crash in the market. But for right now, the print runs are smaller. But a lot of books are still sitting in shelves. A lot of current books that come out are still sitting there on the shelf. I had my buddy Jeffrey Comic-Con came into town just last week, and we went to my LCS, and there was like 4 or 5 copies of like the Art Germ Catwoman still sitting on the counter. Catwoman #1 still sitting there, and then they had that Justice League cover with the Joker. That was the Joker's face on the cover. And he had like 3 of those, and those are still sitting there. And apparently those are supposed to be speculator books that are worth a little bit of money. But they're not. There's a lot of them are still sitting there. So, I mean, it's a different market. It's a harder market to read just because it's a different time. And it's harder to point out the stuff. We have more tools at our disposal to pinpoint some hotter books. But with the new stuff, it's just a hard one to do. And it really, with the variant books, I don't know how I feel about that. I like the artwork. Okay. I really do. I see the artwork on the books and I look at them. I usually pick one. Sometimes I pick two if there's another variant. And we just hit 100 viewers. So thank you so much to the 100 viewers. And we're back down to 98. So that was good. So for the for the couple seconds that we hit 100 viewers, mission accomplished, people. Thank you so much. And then we're back down to 99. So there you go. But anyway, the variants, don't they feel like baseball cards? How the error cards? That's the thing I kind of get right now. It's like, oh, are we going to be able to get a variant? Is that shop going to have a copy of that variant? It's kind of like in the 90s when I would like flip through the baseball cards and hoping I'd get that rare error card that they printed of Nolan Ryan, and like you weren't guaranteed, but if you got it, it's like, yeah, I got it, and those aren't worth anything now. At the time they were. But that's kind of how I see the variants, because they are that 1 in 25 or the 1 in 50, or they even do a 1 in 500. Give me a break. But I know people that buy, they'll work with their comic shops and they'll buy as many comics as it takes to get that variant. If it takes 20 books, they'll buy 20 copies of Titans to get the 1 in 20 variant. And there's a lot of people that do that, and they just sell the other ones for regular price, and they keep the variant. That's something I've never done before. And I don't think I could ever do that, to be honest with you. We hit 1,000 for Bueller. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Everyone's saying, 100 viewers. Everyone's saying 100 viewers. Comics Mix Explains. How are you doing, my friend? Mr. Gretzky 9966. Thank you so much. Adam, I bought an 8 point, or you bought a 181, a CGC 6.0 a few years ago for $750. At eBay prices, that book now crazy, just keeps going up. It does, man. It's that one. That's the book to get. I mean, I would love to find that just sitting in one of those cheap boxes. I would just lose it. It wouldn't be something I'd sell. That would be something I've always wanted in my collection, a Hulk 181. And if I ever come across it and get a chance to get it, for a good price, we're back up to 100 viewers. That'd be just great to have. 101 viewers. 101. Comic Tom 101. Comics with Bueller 101. There you go. I love signed comics. He's in here. Let's see. This is a lot of fun. Oh, there's Ruben's in here. How you doing, Ruben? I think I missed you earlier. Here it is right here. Alex Comic Corps, the Billy Ripken card. Yep, I remember that Billy Ripken card. The error card for that one. That thing's not worth a penny now, is it? The Great Legend, he's in here. How you doing, Great Legend? How you doing? You see, Legend, we just hit over 100 viewers for the stream, which is just fantastic. And so you guys know, I will be joining the Legend and a few of my other Comic Core hosts here at 7 o'clock tonight, as we always do on Friday night. So if you guys want to check out the Comic Core, you should do that. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of knowledge on the panel. We talk about a lot of stuff. We might kind of roll with a topic that I'm talking about here into that one. I'm not sure. We've got a few different topics that we're going to talk about. So let's see. Hey, Bueller. Just posted a quick on my latest haul. Right on. I Love Sign Comics said that. Aggressively Relaxing. Hello, how are you? Aggressively Relaxing says, I bet Thor 6 turns out to be a book you will want a copy in the future. Is that the one I showed? That's on a pile. Yeah. So I talked about Thor a little bit ago when we started the stream, and I kind of mentioned that there was all these books are going to fall over. I just dropped a bunch of books. Come on. But yeah, this Thor 6, like I said when we talked about, there was a character shows up in the end, and it's a character we're all familiar with, but it seems like there's some like Venom stuff going on. So if that's the case, that's kind of fun. And somebody might have died too. I'm not sure. Somebody might have died in this book. You never really know when it comes to comics. So let's see. Bought Thor 5 and 6, Thor 700, 825 in Omaha, 7 p.m. Oh, they're talking about time. The Great Legend shows tonight. I will be live with Bueller on Comic Core. Yep, it's 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time for me. So on 10 o'clock Eastern Time and whatever time zones in between, there you go, and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's a great time. So if you guys haven't checked out the Comic Core, you should do so. The Great Legend, he's in there. C. Wood, Chad, Paul, and a bunch of other guys. It's a lot of fun. So we have a good time. Rich Warner, my LCS has like 10 of those. 6 still left on the shelf. It might be a book you might want to get. It is just a regular book, and we're talking about speculation, and speculation is exactly what it says. It's you're speculating. Maybe it's be worth something. I would just get it because it was kind of a neat book, and it was kind of a nice little twist there at the end. And if you enjoy that, then great. And if it ever does have any value, that's just icing on the cake. So. Let's see, buddy. Did you see DC special of the 90? Really cool. All depends. You got to love it. Love art. Love me. The run. Okay, Great Legend. My time would be 10 o'clock. Everybody's getting on the time zone thing. Sean Crosswell, did you get source number 1? No, I didn't. My local shop didn't get a single copy of that book. And a few people have asked me about that source number 1, and it showed up on a bunch of people's videos recently. And I did not get it because my LCS did not get a copy of that book at all. And, I show every book that they get in my Tuesday videos that come out Tuesday evening. I show every single book that they get on the shelf. And I think they got about 70 titles this week in their store. Okay. We got a ton of people in here still, and we're having a good time. If you guys have any I'm caught up. I know I missed a bunch of stuff, but if you guys have any questions or whatnot, please let me know. Now's the time, because I'm going to wrap this up probably within the next 10 minutes. Beyond the Blast Doors. I haven't heard from those guys in a long time. He said, dude, I can't believe how fast you blew up. I always knew it would happen. No. You know what? Beyond the Blast Doors, thank you so much. I talked to them a lot when I was first starting out doing YouTube, and it's a great channel. It's all about Star Wars. And they gave me some advice on microphones and some other things, and really encouraging words. So I want to say thank you, Beyond the Blast Doors. This is a channel I like. And when I tell people to go check out a channel, if you like it, subscribe to it. If you haven't checked out Beyond the Blast Doors and you're a Star Wars fan, you're missing out, because it's a good channel and you're going to like it. So go check out Beyond the Blast Doors, because they got their stuff together. So it's a lot of fun. But thank you so much for all your help in the very beginning. And, it helped me get focused on what I wanted to do. And I'll give you an example. This week alone, every video I put out this week got 1,000 views within the first hour, or first day. And that's never happened before. And so something must be going right. So you guys are awesome, and apparently you guys are enjoying the stuff I'm doing, and I'm losing a lot of sleep doing it. I was up so long. Oh, let's see. 2017 Mangs has just subscribed. Awesome. Was that to Beyond the Blast Doors? Awesome. New episode just uploaded. Timing is everything. There you go. Beyond the Blast Doors got a brand new episode about Star Wars goodness. And go check them out. They're great. They're good guys. And it's a great channel. And also, there's another channel I wanted to tell you guys about. And he's been around for a while. And since we got a lot of people watching, it's a gentleman I talked to once, and I've chatted with him, and I talked to him in person one time, and the channel's name is Chuck Load of Comics, and he just was like the host of like Ace Comic Con, and he did a bunch of interviews, and he interviewed Jim Starlin, and I got the chance to interview Jim Starlin about a month or two ago, and that was great. And he got a chance to sit down and talk to him, and it was a great interview. And his interview has been picked up by like a bunch of like media outlets, and they've been playing it and stuff. But Chuck Load of Comics, if you haven't checked out his channel, you should go do it, because the guy does some really polished work. His work that he does is polished. That's the word I would use. And he goes over everything. It's an entertainment channel. It's comic books. It's movies. And it's all that good stuff. And he's a good guy. And him and his co-host. He's really great. So make sure you check out Truckload of Comics. It's, I don't know why more people don't watch this channel. I'll just put it to you that way, because it's quality channel. Okay. More people should be watching this channel because you're really going to enjoy it. So do me a favor, go check out Truckload of Comics. And like the Comic Core Chad just said, Chuck is the best. And he's been on our Comic Core show before, and it was a blast. And I'm looking forward to possibly having him on again and actually getting some time to talk with him, because I talked to him a little bit, and it was kind of rushed and stuff. So I really look forward to possibly talking with him again soon. Let's see. Jim did a special on very rare DC rare books of the 90s. Really good. Have triple X rated. C3PO have one. That's from Robert. Says Jim. Is that Jim from Jim Comics? I think that did the DC rare books, or was that Tom that did the? I thought Tom did a rare DC books, if I'm not mistaken. And you guys all know my buddy Tom and stuff, don't you? I was just chatting with him just a little bit ago. If you guys have watched Comic Tom 101, I'm sure you guys all have. He just posted his video. Okay, his CBSI top 10 hot books of the week, and me and him kind of work together, and we kind of shout each other out. And we're friends, and we're going to be doing stuff together. And I might even be on his podcast next week. I don't know for sure, but there's a good chance that next week, not this coming Sunday, but next Sunday, I might be a guest on his podcast. Anyway, he was on Instagram, and he was uploading his video, and some of you guys might have watched this on Instagram. He posted the video and everything, and this is live, so I'm not really telling you guys anything that you wouldn't be able to find out. So he posts the video, and it's going, and as he's on the Instagram, his video gets flagged. It's like, this video is not monetized and stuff. And he's like, during his live Instagram feed, he goes, my video just got flagged. And he's never had that done. And it's come up a couple times on my videos for dumb reasons. So anyway, he got done with his live stream, and I texted him. I go, your video got flagged, right? And he's like, yeah. And I go, let me look at it. So I looked at it, and I go, well, the wording is fine. I go, but you might want to change your thumbnail, because this thumbnail of the video had like Red Sonja on it, and she was very loosely clothed. And then they had another girl that it looked like she was like kind of like tied up, or it was like a horror comic or something like that. So I go, that might be why it got flagged. So you might want to change your thumbnail. So literally within like 3 minutes, he's like, I got a new thumbnail up. Go check it out. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I looked at it. I think you'll be good to go. So hopefully that video of his doesn't stay flagged. I'm pretty sure that's probably what it was. And he's like, how would they be able to flag that? I'm like, dude, they got programs that search that stuff all the time. I go, it's no fault of your own, and honestly, I'll tell you this. So some of you guys might have watched my comics with people who hate comics, some of my early videos. All those videos got flagged when I got monetized. And the reason they got flagged was because I had the word hate in the title. That was it. If you guys have seen those videos, they're the most lighthearted, friendly videos in the world. But because it said hate in the title, they got flagged, and I had the request a review for them to review the videos. Obviously, after the review was done, then they took the flag off and said it was fine. But yeah, so YouTube is a fickle lady sometimes, and that's just the way it goes. Red Sonja looking so good. Yeah, Red Sonja, man, she's got it going on. That's kind of weird. It's comic books. All right, we're going to kind of wind it down here, guys. It's been a little over an hour, and I want to keep these to about an hour and stuff. And we still have 89 people watching, 90 people. And I think we had a decent conversation. I'd like to have someone else on here with me. And I'd like to have another co-host so I can kind of bounce ideas. Because really, it's a lot of just words coming out of my mouth and stuff, So if I had someone, and I've done it with a couple of people on some of the other channels, and I like that. So that's kind of why I like doing the Comic Core, because it's not only me, it's a lot of other people as well. And so it gives me a little time to think about what I'm saying a little bit more and kind of bounce other opinions off people. So if you guys want to check that out, like I said, it's at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time tonight. So it's literally in 25 minutes or, you know, the Eastern time zone. Anyway, 25 minutes from now on Comic Core, I'll be there with some other people, and it'll be a lot of fun. Jose Lopez says, love your content, Bueller. It's great to see so many startup comic YouTubers. It's a great time for comic fans. Feel like comic books are still striving despite the digital age. You know what? I don't think that the digital age can touch comics. It's touched so many other things, but it's a different beast. Music, let's be honest, it's just more convenient to have music on your phone, okay? And nobody is sitting there holding a cassette tape. Ooh, this feels great. You know, it's just not a thing. You know, same thing with movies. You know, movies are digital now, you know, and that market doesn't get affected as the physical market is pretty much going away. But for comic books, holding a comic book in your hand like this, you know, and reading it, you know, and flipping through the things and doing that, all that goodness, that's going to be hard to trump that, you know, especially for such a smaller price point. And just with the selection that's out there, you know, 50-cent books or dollar books, I don't think digital is ever going to be able to touch it. What they do a good job is, and I like this, when you buy this, you get the digital copy as well. So, I mean, you still buy it and then get the digital copy and read that on your phone, but still buy the comic. If you're just buying the digital version of the book and not the physical copy, you should buy the physical copy and then get the digital, because I believe it's the same price. If you just buy a digital version, I think it's the same price as a book. And honestly, if you go to a comic shop, you probably get a discount off cover price. Steve Waterman says, great stuff. Tim the Collector, hit me up. I'm in Central Time. Good stuff, Bueller. Look at all these people in here. Totally agree. Great job. Later. Okay, guys. All right. I'm going to wrap it up. It's been fun. It's been really fun. And I got to get something to eat before I start on the Comic Core. And there's no time frame on that. Sometimes we go for hours. But I think as far as stuff coming up this week, I'll probably have another 50-cent haul video on Sunday. So please check that out. Those have been doing really well. I guess you guys are liking the keys I've been pulling on those 50-cent boxes. And I got more. I got some first appearances in the 50-cent boxes just yesterday, and some good ones. I was like, what is this doing in here? So I'm excited to show that. So that should be on Monday or on Sunday. And then obviously Monday is my the coffee video. And that one did great this week too. And I don't know where that came out of, but everybody watched that and really enjoyed it. And those are fun. Those coffee videos are a lot of fun. And then I'll have other stuff during the week. Obviously my sneak peek videos, and the sneak peek video that came out yesterday. Make sure you guys go check that out, because there's literally 160 titles in that sneak peek video. It's the digital one where I'm all green screen. It's a lot of fun. You know, it's a lot of work too, but anyway. Okay, guys, that's all we got for you tonight. This is fun. I'll look forward to seeing you live again next Friday night. Please come and join me then. Don't forget to like, subscribe. You guys know what to do. I will see you next time. Bye. And press the button.